Welcome to the Park Snacker Pod, your source for Disney Parks news. I'm here with my co-host, Katie. Katie, how's it going?
Hi, I'm back.
Yay.
It is going great.
Excellent. Glad to have you back. Hope you had a good vacation.
Yes, I did. It was nice and relaxing, and then got back late on Sunday night, and I just jumped right back into the real world.
Yeah.
I always feel like I need a vacation from my vacation.
That's always how it is, you know.
Yep.
And we're also here with CJ again. Welcome back, CJ.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
No problem. You know, there is just so much to discuss. I want to catch up, hear all about your vacation, Katie. But frankly, that is at the bottom of my list of things to talk about, unfortunately.
There's not much to say. It was wonderful and it was relaxing.
Yeah.
That was it. That was great. Lots of wine was drunk. That's about it.
That's, all that matters. I saw you made another nice Kahlua video too.
I did. Yes. Kahlua reached out and asked for a pumpkin spice latte version of the Kahlua coffee.
Ooh,
Stupid reel I made.
I like that.
Not stupid. It's cool. But yeah, so if you haven't tried it yet, not sponsored, but somewhat sponsored by Kahlua, pumpkin spice lattes with Kahlua is actually really good. You should try it.
Well, when I'm at the Grand Floridian pool next week, I want to make sure I get a coffee and get the little Kahlua.
Oh my God, do it. Nobody's gonna know.
Yeah.
They're gonna know.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But cool. Yeah. So we have so much to talk about. D23 was this past weekend. So much news. We have the Disney parks to talk about. We had Josh D'Amaro on stage. I watched the Disney Games panel. That was, that wasn't even a panel. That was more just like a 30-minute video of like showing off the games that were happening. We got some fun movie news from Disney Animation, from Pixar, from Marvel, Lucasfilm, 20th Century Fox. So much cool news. I wish we could talk about those today, but we are not. So, I don't want to really wait anymore. We have so much to discuss. So let's just begin. But of course, first we have to talk about our sponsor, Park Snacker. It is I shouldn't even say new anymore. It's been around for almost a year now, but it's for all Disney fans where you can rate, review, and discover over 70,000 menu items at Walt Disney World. We made it! Yeah, we're over 70 now. We've actually been for a while. I think we're around like 74. So we haven't really looked at the number in a while. But you can connect with your friends. So connect with me, CJ, Katie, connect with us on there. You can see what we're snacking on, especially me next week. I'm going to be all in on all the Disney food. You can browse menus, create custom lists, and so much more. So head over to parksnacker.com today to download the app, available on iOS and Android. Again, go to parksnacker.com today to rate and review what you eat and drink at Walt Disney World. And lastly, don't forget to go to our merch shop. Just go to store.parksnacker.com or, just go to parksnacker.com and it's in the menu there. So that'll support us and it'll go directly back into the app. So do that. But all right, let's get into it. Anything before we start, Katie, I know you were away for the weekend. You were, off the grid. Do you have any general thoughts of how the parks panel, what is it? The parks experiences and products panel went? Do you have any general thoughts?
So I've seen the headlines, and I quickly went through the show notes for today. But yeah, I was actually driving home on Sunday when the Perks panel was going on. So I tried to watch some of the live stream, but just crappy service and my phone being old. I didn't really watch too much. So I am actually really looking forward to diving through all this information because a lot of it is new to me. Like I've heard a lot of these big news topics already, but I did listen to your predictions episode from last week, which I thought was really fun to listen to that earlier today even, and then read through the notes. And I was like, okay, a little bit different there, yeah. But it was fun. So yeah, I really don't know, again, anything other than like the major big news. I haven't heard anything.
Cool. CJ, what about you? What were your general thoughts of the panel itself and the news we got?
There's some highlights, there's some letdowns, and there's some stuff that I'm kind of about. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a pretty typical parks panel. I think people are like, they're going to bring back annual passes. They're going to bring back the dining plan. No, this is not. The parks panel is not where they discuss that kind of thing. So I'm satisfied overall.
Okay. Yeah, I felt like I was underwhelmed with the news that we got. I think there's a lot of fun things that are happening. It just seems to me, Disney is really spending their money elsewhere, mostly on like Disney Plus, and
Yes.
like streaming. They're putting, I don't know the correct term, but a lot of their expenditure, I think that's the correct term. I don't know finance at all.
I like it.
But I think, the money that they make, they're putting back into Disney Plus and other areas right now. Because we really didn't hear anything major. And the big news that we're going to discuss first isn't really like an announcement. It's more of like, this is kind of what we're thinking about doing, maybe. So yeah, to me, it was just like, I was hoping for like one solid, like big news item that like we're announcing this is happening. And that's kind of what I was hoping with like our Dino Land prediction last week. Like I was confident like we were going to get like a solid announcement. Like I said, we got something, but it's not an announcement, and we'll discuss further in a second. But, overall, it was fun. I think Josh Tomorrow did a good job. He really knows how to, like, just drag something out, like, for so long, and then, like, there's really no reward at the end.
Yeah, I was taking notes for my own blog, and I was watching it in 2x speed, and I was like, take one bullet point and then just sit there and wait. And I was watching it on 2x speed. I was like, oh, this is a lot of fluff.
Yep. Oh, it was so much fluff. Yeah. Even like, for example, leading up to The Mandalorian, like it was him and Jon Favreau talking for like 5-10 minutes or whatever it was. And I'm like, oh, this must be something good. Like something good is coming. And then it's like, oh, that's it. Just Mandalorian. Okay. So
I feel like he does know how to captivate an audience very well.
Oh,
though.
definitely. Yeah. For sure.
Because it was engaged. The few little snippets I've seen, I'm like, okay, I could sit and watch this guy talk for
honestly,
a long time.
when you're there in the room, it's very exciting to be there with the lights and the music and all the people, and the closest is you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And everyone's like, whoa! It's really exciting.
Yeah. So I know you've been to D23. When was the last Parks panel that you were in?
I was at 2019, the last one.
Oh, you were? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the highlight 100% was Dick Van Dyke coming out on stage, dancing the whole 9 yards. That was fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to go from like, because this is mostly going to be about the Parks panel with some other tidbits in there. I'm not going to go like from the beginning of the show to the end. I broke it up into sections. So first I want to talk the big what they call the big sky projects. So, because that's like what they ended with and what people are talking about. We'll talk Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and then, other Disney Cruise Line as well. So let's start with the big sky projects. Now, before we talk about the projects I think people have to understand what a big sky project is. Now, big sky projects, that term is used in kind of in several ways. Like when you think in big sky, this could mean like, come up with ideas that might not even, be possible to do. It's like, think so outside the box out of like what can be done in reality. And, from there, that's going to cause more ideas to come and then more ideas and more ideas. It's just like a big ideation kind of session, I guess you could call. Where it's like, this isn't concrete. That's why, if you watch the panel, they were just like, what if this happens? What if we're doing this? And what if we're doing that? They never said this is coming, to Disney World. They're just saying like, these are the things that we're thinking about. Like, what if, for Dino Land, we want to go to explore the themes of Zootopia. We want to explore the themes of Moana. That's kind of the things that they're thinking about. So it's not, Dino Land is not going anywhere anytime soon. I think we're safe on that. But they are thinking about replacing it. We both talked about in our predictions episode last week. There's so much that can be done. listen, Katie, I know I don't want Dinosaur to go. I think it's a great ride, but it could be rethemed to like a brand, something brand new, which I find also exciting. I know your face, doesn't say that.
Honestly, they could make it like a ZPD, Zootopia Police Department ride.
No, not in Animal Kingdom. No.
No?
They better not do anything with the city in Animal Kingdom. It has to be.
Oh gosh, that would be so amazing, though.
No, it wouldn't. No,
man.
atrocious. No, stop. Okay, I'll let you. Hold on. Okay, I've been talking a while.
I'm just trying to find a way to
thoughts.
save the ride itself because I know Katie really likes the ride.
That is the biggest understatement I think anyone has ever said. Yes, I am a big fan of Dinosaur. I'm even wearing my Not Our Dino tee because I knew we were going to have this conversation straight off. I'm obsessed with Dinosaur. That said, I don't want to see it be anything else. Either completely leave it as is unchanged and somehow make it fit in, or completely take it down. Because I don't think it'll be the same ride if you just throw a bunch of Zootopia IP at it. And I hate the fact that so much more IP is going into Animal Kingdom. So I'm not mad that Dino Land is getting rethemed because let's be honest, it needs it desperately, or at least an upgrade. It needs something. I get.
I would
that,
say upgrade.
but
That's what it needs.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
I don't like the carnival vibe. Like you guys said in your predictions episode, there is so much space back there now that Primeval Whirl is gone. Like they need to do something. It's Deadsville. So I wouldn't be mad about a Zootopia-esque like jungle vibe or something, but definitely not the city. And hopefully it keeps more of the storytelling versus just, hey, look, it's Judy and Nick.
Like if you remember in Zootopia, they travel to really cool places outside of the city, and I'm
Sahara,
like
tundra.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's okay. That I'm fine with, because I can't. I've only seen Zootopia once in the theater, but I'm imagining if they did a dinosaur-esque ride, like they had some scary moments when like the animals would turn feral.
Yeah. That's right.
And, like, it could become like a kind of a ride like that, but I don't know if Disney wants to go that direction. I'm not sure, but who knows? I mean,
But what role does Dr. Seeker play? Because Dr. Seeker needs to be there.
Here's what I'm thinking. When I was watching the YouTube replay, I paused on the concept art that they showed, and Zootopia was like way in the background, and the dominant things that they had fleshed out were mostly Moana stuff. Like there was a boat ride with a drop on it. I was like, oh, that kind of looks like Splash Mountain. And then they had a Moana themed spinner ride. And I said, oh, that looks like they could just plop that on a Triceratops spin. And there you go. You have a ride. And off to the right, it kind of looked like Restaurantosaurus was just sitting there. Like it kind of looked like they overlaid it over what's already there. So to me, I know we're going to talk about like the stuff behind Big Thunder next, but it looked like this idea was more fleshed out than the stuff behind Big Thunder.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
My other thought is, what was it? I don't think they need to step away from dinosaurs in the park. I think Animal Kingdom is the most edutainment park of the Walt Disney World parks. I think unfortunately, Epcot is stepping away from that, which I personally don't like because I love Epcot and I think it should be edutainment.
Yeah, they're going to try to do with the Moana
No,
Journey of Water.
they're not.
That's literally what the attraction is, about the learning about the cycle of water.
I refuse to believe that.
Okay.
I refuse to believe that. So I think dinosaurs play an important role in the edutainment factor of Animal Kingdom, and if they were to get rid of it completely, I think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
That's fair. What I have beef with is that, so they are obviously very fully committed to doing a Moana-esque inspired something over at Epcot. Why the devil are they doing a whole nother land potentially in Animal Kingdom devoted to Moana? I mean, it's a great movie, but does it deserve two major hits at the parks? I don't know. I thought Zootopia was such a better fit than Moana ever would be.
And then I also thought, what about Up? Up already has a pretty good presence in Animal Kingdom. I feel like it would fit in pretty well, but
Paradise Falls.
Yeah. What is it called again? What Falls? I can't remember.
Paradise
Paradise Falls. Yeah, that would make like a great area because, like you said, CJ, we already have Kevin there.
The
Oh my God.
Wilderness Explorers program.
Oh my God, what are the
You
names
could
of the
just-
characters? Ed?
Russell, Doug.
Oh, Russell and Doug. Yeah, I can't remember the names of the characters at all.
What's the old guy's? Ed is the bad guy, isn't he?
I don't remember.
I don't
Carl.
know. Carl,
Carl,
thank
yeah.
you.
Carl and Eddie.
Yeah,
or Carl and Ellie. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, they're already in Animal Kingdom, so that could easily, get their own area. So,
Yeah.
Well,
again, these are just thoughts that they had. Nothing is concrete. The concept art, that they showed, and if you, so I didn't say this before, but on the video feed, I am going to put in all like the
concept
photos, the videos, everything in from the panel that was showed. I'm going to have it on the video form, so if you want to follow along, you could do that. So now I lost my train of thought. I forget what I was saying.
Big ideas, nothing concrete.
Yeah, nothing is concrete. So I'm sure the concept art that we're seeing is going to be completely different, years down the line. We'll probably hear about this again in 2 years. I doubt we'll hear anything before then, because they are at the very beginning stages of this.
Yes.
So,
Which I actually think is kind of crazy for Dino Land, especially because they need to do something in that area.
It's so sad.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wonder what's the short-term plan. Like, are they really going to leave a quarter of the, maybe not a quarter of the park, but a good section of the park empty? Not empty, but
it's the only thing concrete about this plan is the ground in Dino Land currently.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we got lots more to discuss. So let's move on from that. So the next Big Sky project that they talked about, they were like, oh, what could be behind Big Thunder Mountain? And, they said the term what if so much that they could start their own Disney Plus show. So they talked about, oh, what if we have the town from Coco and then they're celebrating Dia de los Muertos and then you could fly in the land of the dead. Then after that, you could walk to the casita of the Madrigals from Encanto, and you could walk through the magical doors, and then you can go into your own world. And then what if, you go to the villains' land? Villains.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was very all just like, hey, what's going to happen? What can we do here? So, I think what we do know now for sure is there is space that they want to work on behind Space Mountain, and they have all these crazy ideas. They got to figure out what they want to do with it. So whoever wants to jump in, thoughts on this?
Oh my gosh. Okay. My first thought was like, you guys just closed the train for like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you do this again, you're going to have to close the dang train again. And the railroad fanatics are going to riot. My other thought was like, you're just building Tiana right next door to Big Thunder. So how does Tiana fit into any of this? My other thought is like, well, wait a minute. Big Thunder is part of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers universe. How does that fit in with any of this? Mm-hmm. My other thought was, okay, at Disneyland to build Galaxy's Edge, they like cut down Tom Sawyer's Island a little bit. They rerouted the river and they rerouted the train. Are you going to do that same thing here? Like, what? I don't understand how any of this works. And then my next thought is, why isn't any of this going into a fifth park combined with the ideas from Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, that's what I thought
Those
they were
were all my
starting
thoughts
with at the beginning of the show. Like,
yeah,
I thought they were going to be talking about fifth park. But I think I've come, sorry, Kate, I'll let you jump in a second. But I think I've come to terms that, like, the only thing that speaks to Disney these days is money and putting IP into the parks. It doesn't matter if things fit with each other anymore. Lands are of the past. They might have a title, but it doesn't mean anything anymore, unfortunately. Because it's like, yeah, let's mix Coco, Encanto, and Villains. Like, are they going to be their own lands?
Sense.
Are they going to be together? Like, what is this going to be?
The
Again,
other
Big
thing,
Sky, big sky. Think big sky, but
It's going to be called IP Land.
yeah.
The other thing that came to my mind is Tony Baxter must be really upset because he had a really great idea for Disneyland way back in the day for a land called Discovery Bay. If you haven't looked it up, you should look it up. It was like a steampunk inspired land that was going to connect to the lore of Big Thunder Mountain. There's probably SEA references they could bury in there. It looked really, really awesome. It had a 20,000 Leagues connection.
Didn't he bring some
Put
of that
in
to
the land.
Disneyland Paris? Because the
Yes.
Space Mountain is steampunk,
Yes.
I think, right? Yeah.
Yes. But there is a lot of different attraction ideas. And I was like, well, I bet you Tony Baxter's mad because that would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie, what are your thoughts?
I like that they are planning the next Magic Kingdom expansion. It is the next park to get a not full overhaul, but the biggest new expansion. So I'm glad that we're seeing that. The last big expansion we had was Fantasyland. I don't even know what year that was.
Like 2012, like 10 years now.
Yeah.
It was open in 2013. I know when I went, so I think it officially opened 2012. CJ, I think you're right. Yeah.
Nice. So I'm glad that they did touch on this because one of my predictions would have been the Magic Kingdom is going to get the next big park overhaul, right? You've had Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land. Epcot's getting a full reimagine. You had Pandora and Animal Kingdom. So Magic Kingdom was clearly next. Good to see that they are talking ideas. Like you guys mentioned, this is just IP stuff. And you touched on it completely. Like they no longer care about themed lands. It's just what fits where and what kind of crazy IP can we throw at the park, which is kind of sucky because that sort of thinking doesn't last long term.
Mm-mm.
Like Tomorrowland sure is dated, but it's not like that dated, right? Like you can the Buzz Lightyear's still hot, but everything else doesn't really have that much IP with it. You know, Frontierland doesn't have that much IP with it, so it's kind of timeless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Versus in 10 years, are we still going to really be caring about Encanto and Coco? Like, what's going to be the latest new thing? And so then it leads itself to needing to be updated a lot more. So
yeah,
I wish I don't know. Like you said, it's big sky projects, so who knows what they're actually going to come up with. But just seeing the concept art that they put out, I don't know. I almost wish they would just pick one of those things and not do all three because I can't imagine all three of them together. Like they have zero connection.
And I wish the villains portion was like behind Beauty and the Beast area. That makes a lot more sense.
Now, again, I would love it to be strictly villains only. Like, I would love to go through the Casita and I would love to go through the Coco's land and stuff like that. But, like, we've talked about doing a villains park, Fifth Gate or whatever. Like, that's been the rumors.
That's been a rumor for like 20 years.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, here, you're lending yourself to it. There's no villains really anywhere else in the parks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope they pick one of these to expand on. And I think villains itself could lead itself to an actual themed land versus a specific IP land.
Yeah. Villains, I could see getting a whole area. It could be just like, you know, a place where the villains go to hang out. You know, the cool thing they just did with the Top of the World Lounge over at Bay Lake Tower for DVC members, it's now the villains' lair. So it's like, you know, the story is that they came in and just kind of, you know, took over the place. They hung up portraits. They did this. They made food. They made drinks. And, you know, then they ended up leaving. So it's like, you know, do that with a whole land. Make like a big land where they all go to hang out and stuff like that. Like that would be, you know, pretty cool.
Like what was the old 90s show? Like Club Villains or something or another? What was it called?
What was this? I didn't hear the first part you said.
It was like an old 90s show or something. It was Club Villains.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That rings a bell.
I just remember like seeing the poster for it, and it's just all the villains hanging out.
I know what you're
Club
talking
Villains.
about.
I don't know if it's called Club Villains. Let me look it up.
I know what you're talking about. It rings a bell. It really
That's
does.
what they need.
What excites me about this news compared with the Disneyland news, and I know, Matt, you and I chatted, and you were like, Disneyland's getting a lot of stuff. And I was like, well, I think Walt Disney World is too. I think what excites me about Walt Disney World, this new, even though it's like big ideas, whatever, nothing's set in stone, is when Disney World gets new things, they typically don't have to take things away to add new things, whereas at Disneyland, usually something goes away. So even though these are just ideas, it tells me they're thinking somewhere down the line something's going to happen in these areas, even if this isn't the final idea.
Yeah, they still have so much land to work with. Like Disney, there's like endless possibilities for Disney, and just thinking about what they can do with these ideas.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited. People will want to get villains there. I would love that. I hope I hope that happens.
Versus like the Disneyland announcements, like I'm excited for them, but it's bittersweet for me because some of them mean taking away certain things to make it happen.
Yeah. There is a lot of space behind Big Thunder Mountain. I'm looking at a map of it right now. Like the riverboat there goes around it. There's a big back portion area that the riverboat goes through, but the train is there too. But yeah, there's a ton of land just waiting to be had. There's a road that they would have to figure something out with that, but who knows. Anyway, so all right, well that is the big sky news. If you guys don't have any more thoughts, I do want to get to the rest of the stuff now. This I think will be more kind of rapid fire, so we'll have like more quick thoughts, because I think the big sky stuff is definitely fun to discuss. So let's get through the Walt Disney World news first. So starting the show, people went crazy because Jordan Fisher and I forget the woman's name that sings with him. Do you guys know her hand off the top? Yeah.
I have no idea.
So Jordan Fisher, he does the theme for Happily Ever After, the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom. So they started the show, the parks panel off with them singing the Happily Ever After. People were so pumped for it. And then, Josh D'Amaro comes on stage and people are so excited that he's like, people think that he says Happily Ever After is returning. So what people heard was, oh, the full show is like coming back. And I think that's kind of immediately what I thought. I'm not going to say that's not what I thought either. But the official wording from Disney, it will come back when an updated nighttime spectacular debuts at Magic Kingdom Park in 2023. So that means it looks like Enchantment will be going away, and a new show is going to debut with Happily Ever After as part of the new nighttime entertainment. So first with my thoughts, that's okay, that's fine. People are going to kill me for this, I was never a big Happily Ever After fan. The music just never stuck with me. I love the music for Wishes, like the Wishes. Yes. The Wishes got me. Like I still remember even being on Main Street at my bachelor party with my guys, just all like with our arms wrapped around each other. It's just I love that song way more. So how do you guys feel about this?
This is definitely a Wishes stan account. 100%. Because Wishes, I have that some emotional ties. Like when I was in my college program working at Disney, like I saw Wishes all the time, constantly, and it just still every single time brings me to tears. Anytime I was working back of house at the gift shop I was working at, we would listen to the Wishes soundtracks. I worked at one of the resorts. So yeah, I would have been a lot happier if he said something about Wishes coming back. Happily Ever After is cool. I do get emotional during the song. I will say, like, Jordan Fisher does have a good sized chunk of my heart. Yeah. Angie K is what Spotify says is the female singer.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
But Jordan. What do you say?
I just don't connect to Magic Kingdom fireworks. I'm a Disneyland girl. So if they had the Magic Kingdom equivalent of Remember Dreams Come True from Disneyland, then I would be all on board. But they don't have that. So
that's fair. Yeah. No, I think this is cool. I'm glad Enchantment's going away because that clearly missed a big mark. I don't know. I think it would be cool to do some sort of, tie together of Happily Ever After with Wishes and Walt's speech and Celebrate the Magic and all of the other fun things. Like I'm still waiting for them to tie in what they've done in the past because I feel like that'll hit the nostalgia a lot more.
I wonder if this like updated one in 2023 will tie into the 100th anniversary of the company. I wonder if that's what they're alluding to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think because the 100th anniversary is starting early, I think it's going to be more focused at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Like the 50th anniversary ends at the end of March. And it's going to take them time to clean everything up. I don't know if they're going to jump into the 100th. I just hope that with the new nighttime spectacular, so I'm going to see Enchantment for the first time next week. I've never seen it, but all I know is that people they want to also be on Main Street so they could see what's happening there. I just hope that they get rid of the projections on Main Street and they just keep it focused on the castle, because if you're going there one time, if you have a vacation one time, I don't want to have to worry about I'm missing out on the show. Just let me focus on the castle, the fireworks, and that'd be great. Because for instance, in June when I went on Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, I felt like I missed so much of that attraction because you have to look everywhere. There's way too much going on in that attraction. And that's what I feel is going to happen for for Enchantment. So when I go next week and when I see it, I'm just going to stand in the main hub area. I'm not going to worry about what's on Main Street. I'm going to focus on the castle. That's the main part of the show. And that's kind of what I hope they do with the new nighttime entertainment. So, cool. Anything else with that? Otherwise, we're going to keep moving on. All right.
Keep moving on.
All right. So I think these next three are going to be pretty quick. Tron opening date. I felt like I was pretty confident that it was going to be December this year.
I know.
Yeah.
You were.
I was pretty confident. But no, it's going to be spring 2023. I assume it's going to be May, just because I feel like they're so close. May is always such a big date for them to open. So I think end of May, towards Memorial Day weekend. That's what I'm assuming.
I'm going to call a little earlier. I think they're going to do previews in February with an opening in March or April.
Well, they say spring, so it'd have to be after March 21st, 20th.
I think spring starts a little earlier for Disney.
Yeah.
Probably, Disney makes up their own season.
Mickey Minnie.
Yeah, I was thinking
Mickey Minnie's did open March 4th, I think it was.
That's true.
So,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's they'll be doing previews, I think, pretty early. I think I'm with you, CJ. They'll do previews around March and then maybe open in April. I'm shocked it's spring of 23. I really thought it was going to be sooner. But whatever. It takes a long time to open one single roller coaster.
Ride, please.
It's getting there. So we finally have the opening date for that. And one thing that took me by surprise and I'm really excited about, the Hatbox Ghost is coming to the Haunted Mansion over in Magic Kingdom. Now, I'm curious of what your thoughts are, CJ. Now, before I get to you, CJ, I'm going to make you squirm a little bit more. Katie, I know you haven't been to Disneyland. Are you familiar with the Hatbox Ghost at all? What are your feelings on this?
I don't know much about this, so CJ won't have to squirm too much.
Oh, can I explain to you the legend of the Hatbox Ghost?
Yes, don't give us the whole saga, but you can make it quick.
Okay, so when the ride first opened in 1969, there was this figurine this audio animatronic that they installed that was, the head disappeared and appeared in Hatbox, right? So legend has it, he was in there, but he was quickly removed because the effect didn't work in the ride. And it was was he in there? Was he not? People talked about it, and it wasn't until the last 10 or 15 years that some home video footage showed up of him actually on the ride. So it was confirmed that he was on the ride. So in the ride, if you ride at Disneyland and at Florida, you can see one of those stands for coat racks, and they have hats hanging on it. That's an homage to him, basically. And then they finally brought him back to Disneyland, where he belongs.
Got it. So he's coming back to Magic Kingdom. Well, that's cool. Yeah, no, I've seen pictures of him, but I don't really know much about it. So that's
the legend. It was he actually ever in the mansion? Was he not? There's pictures of him in development, and then it was finally confirmed in the last 15 years that he actually was in the mansion.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I think in the show, the Behind the Attraction, they actually talk about bringing the Hatbox Ghost Why can't I say that?
I don't know. You're struggling.
Ghost back. I didn't realize that's such a tongue twister.
Right.
So yeah, the effect is so cool. It's him. If you don't know about it, it's him. I'll see if I can put some video in the feed. But but it's like his head, it disappears into this like box that he's wearing, or that he's holding on to. And it's just really neat. It's just like, he's just a character in the Haunted Mansion. And I'm excited for him to come to Magic Kingdom. So
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited too. He's a cool guy. Old Hattie.
Yeah.
He's back.
So, they also announced Tiana's Bayou Adventure will debut late 2024. I want to hold discussion on this until we get to Disneyland, just because they really focus on the Disneyland portion of this. And then, we can kind of talk, Walt Disney World, then. So we'll hold on to a discussion for that. So yeah, Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be taking over Splash Mountain and debuting at Walt Disney World late 2024. They also announced that the completion of World Celebration will be debuting late 2023. So there will be lots of lush green space for you to relax. Plus, it will have the opening of Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza. The central location in the park will be the new home for festivals and the perfect space to gather with friends and family. It will also be home to Dreamers Point, an inspiring new area where you can view the new Walt Disney World statue called Walt the Dreamer. So they actually had the statue, the one that will be placed in Epcot, over at the Disney D23 Expo, and it looks great. It looks really good. I'm not sure where it's going to be. He's going to be placed now, because originally he was going to be placed on that like big tower that they were going to add in. Now the tower's not happening, so I'm a little confused on where he's going to be. What Dreamer's Point actually is now. So
it kind of looked like you could go up and get really up close to him.
Yeah, I mean that was the initial concept, right? You could like sit down next to him. Yeah,
I think that might still be the case. I mean, I think Hong Kong was getting a new Walt statue as well, and it was like on a park bench.
Yeah.
That kind of seems to be what they're doing with the Walt statues these days.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be Mickey as well, and Walt on the park bench. Yeah, as a homage to when he thought up the idea for Disneyland when he was watching his kids on the carousel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then real quick, and then if you guys want to talk about this some more. So also in World Nature, the Journey of Water inspired by Moana will also open in late 2023. This new exploration trail will allow guests to learn about the story of water on our planet. Edutainment, CJ.
No.
As
Do you think there's going to be Do you think there's going to be cast members there saying like, first the water falls from the sky and then it evaporates?
Probably, yeah,
no.
Absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So do you think it's going to be more just an interactive walkthrough thing?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
It's not going to
I'm
be
just
so much
joking.
like what they do.
That's what I think it's going to be too. It's more of an interactive walkthrough, and they'll probably have like signs and stuff. So
That nobody's going to read because they're worshiping the giant Te Fiti statue.
yeah. So quickly, just to finish. So you'll learn about the story of the water on a planet, but so you'll interact with this attraction. But guys, or ladies, I should say, sorry. There was a scaled model displayed at 3 feet tall. There's going to be a 16-foot tall statue of Te Fiti at this thing. 16 feet.
Blech.
That's huge.
Boo.
Blech.
Get it out of
huge.
here.
So
Put it, this belongs at the Polynesian Resort,
Yes.
like at the pool splash area.
Yeah.
This does not belong in Epcot.
yeah, it's when I saw that, I'm just like, oh, that's a lot. I never really agreed with this in Epcot anyways.
No.
So
Not at all. Epcot does not lend itself to have IP.
And the
don't think.
IPs that they do currently have, they're like hidden inside show buildings.
Right.
This is out in the open, and this is not okay. This is a lot happening. Too much.
Yep. I am trying to reserve judgment until it's finished
Yeah.
because I still can't imagine it because it just all seems so wild. So I'm trying to have high hopes still, but
Yeah.
16-foot tall Te Fiti is not it.
Put it at the Polynesian, please.
yeah.
That'd be nice.
So we can all be sipping on our drinks from Trader Sam's
Yes.
while Te Fiti looks over us and blesses us all.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. So they did announce with the celebration of Walt Disney's 100th anniversary, a new nighttime spectacular is in the works for Epcot. The new show is currently in development and will debut late next year, carrying on the park's legacy of inspiring nighttime entertainment that unites guests around World Showcase Lagoon. So the only thing I can say is, whatever you do, just don't give us something that blocks the view during the day.
Yes.
Burn the barges.
Just get rid
Burn
of the
the
barges.
barges.
I think they learned that, I hope they learned that, wow, this is a bad idea. Because, CJ, weren't you pointing out that they do, on your Instagram I saw the other day, that they give out surveys on what people think of certain attractions or areas?
Yeah, I got a survey that asked about every single attraction and if I thought it was like a must-do, timeless, if it would make part of my perfect day, if it was outdated and boring or offensive. It did not ask about Harmonious, but it asked about all the rides.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, I think things have to be timeless. Like, Harmonious is definitely going to lose, like, its touch. Like, soon enough, kids are not going to care so much about, like, the different IP. Like, Katie, you even said it earlier. Like, think about Illuminations. Illuminations started before the millennium, and it stayed there because it was so popular for when did it end? 18, 19 years later, whenever it was. So,
And it stayed popular because it didn't have IP tying it together. It was like a common theme about, hey, we're all citizens of the same world. Let's like unite together. It had nothing to do with Disney movies.
Yeah.
And it didn't need to be successful.
Right. There's a big difference between using IP and focusing on IP.
Yes.
Joe Verdi has
100%.
talked about this a million times. If you ever listen to or watch or read anything Joe Verdi says, I am his number one faithful servant. I love him. But he has, like, you can definitely use IP, but they can't be the main focus, right? So my example is with Phantasmic, which, no, we didn't get a date still. He even in Phantasmic, when they're doing all of the different scenes up on the water, like, you still get new video clips in it, and it's not the tie of the show, right? Kind of a bad example. But I'm actually kind of shocked they're getting rid of Harmonious really fast, because I didn't mind it, because I feel like you could easily swap in and out a couple of different scenes there.
Yeah, that's what they do with World of Color at California Adventure.
So
yeah.
I don't know. I liked Harmonious a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So
if it wasn't for the barges, I wouldn't mind it. It's the
Yeah.
stupid, ugly barges.
Yeah.
that make
Right.
me
So
go,
I have not
hear
seen
ya.
Harmonious yet. I have seen during the day the barges, and it's atrocious. It's just like, I'm just looking at steel. This is not this is not Disney. Like, what are you guys doing? So, they're listening to their research, because it's nuts that they spent all this money on Enchantment and especially Harmonious, and they're both going away in less than 3 years.
a year and a half.
Well,
A year
it
and a half, because they
it
both opened
started.
for
When did they come out?
October
October
1st.
1st, 2021.
October 1st.
Wow. So yeah, it'll be about like 2. Yeah.
They said the 50th anniversary is going to be 16 or a year and a half,
Yeah.
18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking both of them were going to last. Like, that was what they were going to be doing for a while.
Yeah.
That was going to be their show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like they were
going
going to have it for a while. So, crazy. So, we'll definitely get more news on that soon. So, moving on to the last bit of Walt Disney World news, which is people got really excited about. CJ, you kind of called it right. Like, she messaged me right beforehand. The Imagineer Zach Ridley what was he doing? CJ, I'll let you explain.
He was
it.
wearing a Figment shirt.
Yeah. He posted a photo of himself right before the parks panel. So what we're getting is you'll be able to meet Figment again out in the parks next year. So by the end of next year, you'll be able to meet Figment. If you're watching the video feed right now, I am posting a photo of me and my sister in 1994 meeting the Dreamfinder and Figment. So, yeah.
You need to go back and recreate that picture, like wearing the same style clothes, same pose and everything.
Oh, yes. Yeah, maybe we will.
And like if Dreamfinder's not there, you need to get like a little Dreamfinder like picture on a stick or something.
Dress Cora up as Dreamfinder.
Say that again?
You should dress Cora.
as Dreamfinder, yeah.
So cute.
Yeah. So everyone loves him, so he's coming back. So he's not just going to be a popcorn bucket anymore. So
Yes. I'm so excited.
all right, we are 45 minutes in, so let's keep this moving. All right, so let's move over to Disneyland. Now, we got a ton of details about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Again, this is coming to Disney World and Disneyland, opening late 2024. So the story is that it picks up right where the Princess and the Frog left off. At the end of the film, Princess Tiana realizes her lifelong dream where she opens her restaurant, Tiana's Palace. We pick up the story during Carnival season when Tiana is hosting a party for the people of New Orleans. She discovers her celebration is missing a key ingredient and needs our help to find it. On Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we'll join Tiana and Louis on a trip to the Bayou where they'll meet all sorts of unexpected new friends who will have a special role to play at the party. And then the fun thing is, pretty much all the main characters of the cast will be providing their voices for the attraction. So, they had the model there, which is cool. So I'll be displaying photos of the model here on the screen. It's still, very similar to Splash Mountain. It definitely has a lot more greenery. There's a big water tower that says Tiana Foods. They talked about a new technology, not new technology, but like this lighting technology that they're using, where there's pretty much if you look at the tunnel, there's a video out there somewhere, but there's sparkling blue and purple lights in the tunnel. There's lots of plants and ingredients growing around there. There's a very large garden. And then, of course, the queue is going to be getting a huge makeover as well. And they also gave a look at it at night, and it looks beautiful. Like this colorful blue lighting definitely reminded me of Pandora, but it looks great and definitely outdoes anything that, what's going on with Splash Mountain right now. I'm not saying I like it more than Splash Mountain, but, it looks really nice. So those are a lot of new details. I don't know if you guys saw the model at all for this. What are, kind of give your general thoughts on Tiana's Bayou Adventure and the news that we got.
I'm excited. I think it looks really cool. I've already met my piece with saying goodbye to Splash Mountain. I'm glad they're keeping the drop. I'm very pumped that all of the original voice actors will be voicing the attraction. That's super cool. But yeah, I'm pumped. It looks cool. I have nothing really to add. I'm just excited.
I'm not quite ready to say goodbye to Splash Mountain.
No.
No, and where it is in Disneyland, it's very close to Winnie the Pooh. So to me, it's very strange to have Tiana right next to Winnie the Pooh, and it makes me wonder, what's going to happen with Winnie the Pooh? That's a weird corner of the park. I think they're going to pull it off really well. The concepts that I've seen and the model and everything, I think it's going to be very beautiful. I'm just not quite sold on the story, not really sold on the theme. But I think it'll be well done. Yeah.
I agree, though. I will say this doesn't fit in Frontierland.
No,
not in Disney.
I don't think this is the I don't think this is the ride for Tiana. I think she deserves a dark ride for the entire family. I don't think she deserves a thrill ride. Because I'm looking at little girls who look up to Tiana, and they can't go on this ride because they're not tall enough.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think. My issue with it not being in Frontierland, I kind of pushed it to the side, or with it going into Frontierland, is because, like we talked at the beginning of the show, the lands don't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly my problem with it.
So as soon as I, forget about that portion of it and just look at the ride itself, fine. Because if I start looking at all of the things around it and doesn't make sense, and yeah, CJ, to your point, little kids can't ride this ride, so what are they going to do for them? Is there going to be a fun play area that they should do? I would love another table service restaurant. Tiana's Palace should be somewhere we can eat.
Yeah, I was really confused about that because on the model, it was New Orleans is home to Tiana's Palace. And people were reporting Tiana's Palace coming to New Orleans Square. And I was it doesn't say that.
Right.
To me, this is setting up the backstory for the ride. This is not confirmed for New Orleans Square. I don't know where these people are getting this information. Mm-hmm. I was very confused about that.
Yeah. So it seems at least for Disneyland, they're just now extending New Orleans Square. Because, you have New Orleans Square, then right outside of it is the Haunted Mansion, and then right next to the Haunted Mansion is Critter Country, but now it's going to be...
now it's going
to be Tiana's within New Orleans Square, and then Critter Country. I keep saying Cruntry.
It's just gonna be
It's just
like
gonna be
the Winnie the Pooh ride.
because Winnie the Pooh's the
It's
only
gonna
thing out
be
there now, right?
It's gonna be Winnie the Pooh. There's a pretty big gift shop. Like the exit to Splash Mountain at Magic Kingdom. That whole like walkway that you go on, that's about the size of the gift shop, and there's a candy shop there for Winnie the Pooh. So that's a pretty sizable piece of real estate. And then there's the Hungry Bear restaurant, which is a double level restaurant, so a pretty sizable restaurant. And then you've got the canoes, all part of Critter Country. And there's a little gift shop over there by Splash Mountain, by the old Fast Pass machines for Splash Mountain.
Okay.
And then there's a walkway to Galaxy's Edge back there as well.
Gotcha.
By Hungry Bear.
Yeah.
So because Winnie the Pooh is still back there, how can they make Winnie the Pooh fit into New Orleans Square? They can't.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit into Galaxy's Edge either, obviously. So Critter Country is going to have to exist unless they're going to demolish Winnie the Pooh. But Winnie the Pooh serves the purpose of the parents needing to take the little kids on something while everybody else is on Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
So they're not going to get rid of that.
Yeah. Disney. And then Disney World, I just have. Again, they're just throwing stuff in there. Like they have this whole story because the next thing we're going to talk about is, the Tiana themed store coming, Eudora Chic Boutique.
And this is further down. This is past the train station in Disneyland.
Yeah. So, Eudora is Tiana's mom. And it's going to be selling a variety of accessories to create and serve New Orleans inspired cuisine, including ingredients. Brand new lines of spices and sauces created by Tiana for her to use in her own cooking at the restaurant. According to the story of the shop and the surrounding area, all of the spices are actually grown within Tiana's Bayou adventure ride. This will actually be opening up September 20th, next week. So.
I'm confused about the location of this. This is in a place called Le Baton Rouge, is what it used to be called. And it's like 2 doors down from the exit of Pirates. So you've got Pirates, and then you've got Blue Bayou, and then you've got like the old Club 33 entrance, and then this shop. And then you've got like the new Club 33 entrance, the bathrooms, the train stations, Haunted Mansion, a restaurant, and then Splash Mountain, like way down. Like, why is this so far away from Tiana's Bayou?
It's all
adventure?
New Orleans Square now. She lives on the other side of New Orleans.
But here's
Square,
the thing: there is a very small gift shop by the old Fast Pass machines for Splash Mountain. It's like kind of a thatched roof thing, like built into the queue of Splash Mountain, and all they're selling in there is hats. Like Mickey hats, Mickey ears. They could put this right there, and they could build it into like the garden of Tiana or whatever, and it would fit perfectly in with the theme. And it would go just fine.
Yeah.
But then they want to have a gift shop, CJ. They need to have a gift shop.
Le Baton Rouge, before it closed, it was like a Disney dress shop. So it was like going to New Orleans and you're picking out a pretty dress and you're looking really nice, and it was cool.
Yeah.
So I'm confused on the location.
And I just want to know who's going to be buying ingredients and sauces and spices from Disneyland. I mean, I guess Disneyland is a lot more local, so maybe.
They have a perfume shop in there. They used to have an antique shop in there. The perfume shop is still around, and there's a jewelry shop. And
just seems a little spices and herbs and sauces and whatevers are not my go-to souvenir.
Yeah. Anyways,
so that's so we got to keep moving on, but that's everything that we know about Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Eudora Chic Boutique opening up next week at Disneyland. And again, Disney World, I don't think the Chic Boutique is going to be there, but we're going to be getting the overlay, which makes even less sense in Frontierland. So moving on, let's go. We're going to go over to the Toontown now over in Disneyland. So they had a big model showing all the renovations that are happening over there. Mickey's Toontown will be reopening early 2023. So we have lots of stuff happening. We now have the title of a new market. Good Boy Grocers is a farmer's market that will offer grab-and-go drinks and treats. The Cafe Daisy will be a combination of the 3 previous quick-service spots, including Daisy's Diner. They will serve up diner classics at her sidewalk table eatery. And then there's Goofy's House, which is a how-to-play yard, perfect place for children of all ages to play in an enclosed area. There will be an all-new elevated clubhouse. There will be they can create quirky noises in a new sound garden. Inside of Goofy's house, he set up a candy making contraption. Don't worry, no real candy can be made. It's all all for fun. Then there's a new duck pond. The new duck pond has larger than life spinning water lilies, balance beams, and rocking toys. And Donald's boat has crashed into the Goofy's Toontown or Goofy's area, and there is a big splash pad area. So make sure your kids bring a change of clothes there.
I'm really I'm just going to stop you really quick.
Yeah,
I'm really
go for
excited
it,
for this. So Good Boy Groceries, first of all, is taking over Goofy's gas station, which it sounds like just a retheme. Same thing. Cafe Daisy, these 3 eateries that were there, it was like Pluto's Hot Dogs, like Clarabelle's Ice Cream, and Daisy's Diner. So it just, sometimes one of them would be open, sometimes all 3. So I'm glad they're combining them. Goofy's house. Okay, when I was a kid, when Toontown first opened, it was a legit bounce house. And then they removed the bounce house element of it and just made it like a flat ground, and you couldn't bounce in it. You just like walked through, and it was really boring. So I'm like, I understand, like, you could get injured, lawsuits, I get it. So I'm really glad they're bringing an interactive element to this. Now, the little model they had for Donald's boat, currently, I mean, before Toontown closed, you could walk through Donald's boat. But again, they closed off all the fun things that you could do, probably out of the fear of lawsuits. So I'm really glad they're like bringing life to Donald's boat by making it a splash area, because there are no splash areas in Disneyland. The one that they had in Bugs Land over in DCA has been closed to make room for Adventures Campus. Disneyland Park itself has never really had a splash area, so providing this is a good idea. Like this last week, it was over 100 degrees in Disneyland. Disneyland needs this. I'm concerned that they closed off Donald's boat, because walking through was still kind of fun. They had like pictures on the wall and stuff to look at, so we'll see. And then I also noticed they took out Chip and Dale's Treehouse, which honestly, it used to be a slide and there was a giant ball pit. They took out the ball pit long ago. There were no balls in the ball pit. It was just a big pit that you could not even go into. And I think the slide was closed. So I don't know. It was just nothing. You just walked through a treehouse.
Yeah. Well, thanks for all the insight, because I didn't know anything about Toontown. So it's
really cool. I'm really excited for the updates.
Yeah, it's good to know that they're doing all these updates for the kids and stuff. And I wish Disney World still had that, because I remember it when I was a kid, very vaguely, but at least I have the memories of the Full House episodes when they visit Toontown, so I have that.
Exactly.
Excuse me. So moving on, still in Toontown, there's more. There's a lot going on in Toontown. We already know the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will be happening over at the El Capitan Theater. Centennial Park, there will be fountain features and water tables that will provide interactive elements for everyone to enjoy. And then, there's still the things that are staying the same are Roger Rabbit's cartoon Spin, Mickey's House, and Minnie's House. Plus, other attractions will be reimagined in new, exciting ways, including Gadget's Go Coaster, which will be called Chip and Dale's Gadget Coaster. So yeah, that's all the exciting news from there. And yeah, Mickey's Toontown will be reopening early 2023.
The name change on the coaster cracks me up. Like, is Gadget no longer a character in the Chip and Dale universe?
Gadget was the
it was the girl.
The girl, right?
It was the girl chipmunk.
Okay, that's right.
So she just doesn't exist anymore. So
I mean,
guess.
Chip and Dale sells. Unfortunately, Gadget
apparently.
The new
She's
Chip and
so
Dale
cute.
movie did not do enough. So
well, I guess not.
Yeah. That movie was awesome. If you have not watched the new Chip and Dale movie on Disney Plus, it's so good.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. So, Katie, do you have any thoughts on Toontown, or are you
Nope.
good? Okay.
It sounds cool. I'll get there one day.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep moving on. CJ, any last thoughts on Toontown? Because you've given us.
I'm excited. I wish I could take my kids back, so I'll just have to book another vacation.
Yeah.
Darn.
Real quick, is there a splash area in Storybook Circus?
Yes.
There is, right? Okay, that's what I thought. All right.
Yep.
I'm excited to take our daughter there. She loves.
Bring a bathing suit.
Oh yeah, we plan on it. Yeah, we plan on it. She loves like water play areas, so we're excited to show her. So, all right. So now we are moving over to Disney's California Adventure. which is now getting a bit even more of an identity crisis. So starting, one of the first things they announced, they brought, we talked about Jon Favreau came on stage and really teased up what was going on. So the Mandalorian came on stage, full costume, as well as Grogu, also known as Baby Yoda. They are both coming to Galaxy's Edge only in Disneyland. Why do I have this in California Adventure? That was supposed to be in the Disneyland section. That's my bad. So this is coming to Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge in mid-November. So we are getting the costume characters over there. Now, my thoughts on this, I can't remember. We knew Boba Fett. Well, Boba Fett and Fennec Shand have been there. Did we know Mandalorian? Right? We already got the news that he was coming, right?
Yeah. To me, this is an like we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like a fluff announcement to me.
Yeah, this was the first time
they wanted to get Grogu on stage.
Say that again, Katie?
They just wanted to get Grogu on stage.
Yeah, this is the first time where I think they showed Grogu, in his glory of how it works with the animatronics. So, no word on Disney World anytime soon, but this is the kind of thing where they created Galaxy's Edge. They created it in a time period between Star Wars Episode 8 and Episodes 9. It's already we talk about timeless. It's already just, they've broken their own story. They keep bringing these characters in that are, in they come like 20, 30 years before the events of Episodes 8 and 9. So it's just like, they're just all over the place now. It doesn't even matter. So, any other thoughts on this? All right, I'm going to keep moving on then. The next thing, though, Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, came on stage, and then Mark Ruffalo popped up on the screen and saying they needed some green over in the Avengers campus. So then a huge Hulk appeared on the stage in his Avengers Endgame costume. So this is part of the exosuit technology that they've been teasing for the past year. I think they debuted it at D23, right? Or Destination.
At Destination, at Destination D23, they showed it off, and it's very large.
Yeah, so it's
in person. It's very scary.
Yeah, it's pretty much someone in a very large suit. I think they still have way more. I think it needs some more time because the Hulk on stage looked very stiff. Like if you saw the video of it, it looked really cool, but he looked really stiff, and I just don't think it's quite there yet.
When they showed it at Destination D23, the actor who was wearing the suit was just wearing the pants, and it was like furry.
Yeah, it was like a Yeti or something.
Yeah, it looked like a Yeti or some sort of monster from like Monsters Inc. or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hulk will be appearing in Disney's California Adventure next week for a limited time. That's what they do a lot with the characters over there. Like there's so many characters that you've been able to meet, but it's usually for a limited time. So hopefully you get to see them over there. So Katie, any thoughts on this?
Is this the same size or technology suit as the dude who hangs out in Pandora at the exit of Flight of Passage?
Yeah.
He sometimes plays games. Is it essentially that size? And
yeah, I mean, because those
technology
are pretty much like exo type suits.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, I was just trying to frame it because I couldn't really get a good idea. So if you've seen the big machine avatar guy, robot guy, at the exit of Flight of Passage, about the same.
Yeah, I've never seen him in person, but I know he comes out every once in a while. I don't know if he's come out anytime recently.
Dude, he's hilarious. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time, but if he's out, I will always stop and watch him because he's usually really funny and picking on people in the crowd, and I love it.
Cool. So that is happening soon, and then the big news that they talked about over at Avengers Campus is that right now the big storyline in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the multiverse. There's so many things happening with that. They want to bring the multiverse to Avengers Campus. So the new concept for this attraction will be an epic family adventure where you'll get to team up with more of the Avengers and their allies to battle against foes from the multiverse, including King Thanos, a villain designed specifically for Avengers Campus. So this is a story where Thanos won. Like he beat whoever he had to beat, he won. So there wasn't any details on it. The only like slight detail we got was in this big poster that if you're watching again the video feed I have up, but they have a vehicle. It has 2 rows of people, 4 people in each row. So it kind of looks like, it could be like, a dinosaur type ride, maybe. Who knows? Like a ride vehicle like that, because it has like people seated. I can't imagine this being like a Pirates of the Caribbean slow attraction. I feel like this is, they said it's an epic family adventure. So something that everyone could ride. So maybe it will be a ride vehicle like Indiana Jones and the, what is it? The Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
And the Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
Yeah. Or
I was looking at it and I was thinking it might be like Rise of the Resistance, but they had this vehicle. I don't know if you guys saw pictures, but in Hollywoodland for a while, and probably now in Avengers Campus, there's like this black vehicle that I think Black Widow comes out in. And it's like, it kind of looks like a Humvee, like an altered
like an
Hummer or something.
Humvee, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. And I was thinking maybe it'll be like a Rise of the Resistance vehicle that like crossed with that, and maybe it'll be like a trackless thing. Yeah. And my guess is maybe the queue, you're going to go through some sort of like, come on, recruits, get trained for this mission and hop in our vehicle and come with us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it makes sense. I think that could definitely be it. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, any thoughts from you on this?
No, sounds super cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Because I think so if I go to Avengers Campus, I can't really do Mission Breakout. I will ride it just because I need to experience it. But the tower, like those drops, that's what really upsets my stomach. And CJ and I talked about it last week. The web flinger thing, doesn't do anything for me right now. Like I have no
if
hype.
If you like video games,
excitement.
you need to go on it. It's fun.
I'll go on it. I have no hype for it right now.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the Marvel stuff that is coming. Now to the more of the identity crisis over at California Adventure. The Pacific Wharf in California Adventure will be reimagined to San Francisco, which is the town from Big Hero 6. Imagineers are in the early phases of this work, but you can see glimpses of what's to come for children of all ages, the young and young at heart. There will be a place to meet Baymax, plus new spots to eat and drink. So I don't remember much about Pacific Wharf. So CJ, that's near Pixar Pier right now. Right?
It's if you're heading into like Pixar Pier and Paradise Gardens Park, it's just past Cars Land on the left. It's like nestled right by Cars Land across from the Italian restaurant along the parade route.
I've eaten at that Italian restaurant actually.
Yeah, it's like right across.
Rose something?
No, it's
I'm wrong.
Wine Country Trattoria.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I've eaten there before.
Yeah, same thing.
Rose,
yeah.
Like just like that.
I remember now. So
it's like right on the back entrance to Cars Land. Basically, it's just this little nook.
Okay, yeah. So it's like I'm looking at the map now. Oh, yeah. So it's like just a small little area over there.
Yeah. And it's got the Boudin Bakery with the sourdough bread walkthrough, where it's got a fabulous piece of DCA 1.0. It's got Colin Mockery and Rosie O'Donnell teaching you all about how sourdough bread is made. It's very 2001 DCA, and I absolutely love it. And you get a free piece of sourdough bread.
Oh, nice.
It's got Ghirardelli, just like in Disney Springs. And it's got the Chinese restaurant, and it's got a beer truck, and it's got Rita's Margaritas, and it's got the Mexican place, Cucina Cucamonga. And it's a really great place to sit and eat. The food there is excellent. The bread bowls are excellent. And I like this part of the park because it's usually pretty quiet. There's no rides here. It's just a really quiet place to sit and eat. And there's 3 different styles of food, and you got beer and margaritas. Can't go wrong there. And you got ice cream. Also can't go wrong there. So, like, it's losing the California identity for me. I mean, obviously it's themed after San Francisco, first of all, but like food culture is a really important part of California culture, and to potentially be losing like a Chinese food place, like the sourdough bread place, the Mexican food place, like those are really popular food spots, and to take that away from California Adventure makes me a little nervous. Mm-hmm. Does Baymax need to be in Disneyland somewhere? Yes. Does it need to be here? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, Disney's just throwing stuff, sticking it to the wall.
I would rather see this in Tomorrowland, which, by the way, had 0 announcements. Yep. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Tomorrowland had nothing.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Come on. That's all we want. Nobody asked for San Francisco. I'm sorry. Nobody asked for that. Yeah. Everyone's asking for Tomorrowland announcements. Cares. And
like, Big Hero 6 is not on people's minds. That's like the problem. Like, you don't need to change stuff.
No.
Things that people
Everyone loves the bread bowls. Everyone loves Kachina Cucamonga. Everyone loves Rita's Margaritas in the beer truck.
Yeah.
Now, that all might stay. It just might be themed as a San Francisco restaurant, too. Mind you, this still just says new spots to eat and shop. They still might have a Chinese place, a sourdough place. Yeah. It probably won't have Rosie O'Donnell on it. And
I know. Save Rosie. Save Colin.
And it might have...
If they get rid of the free bread samples, I will personally go to California Adventure and stage protest.
Does Disney know they're giving something away for free? Because they don't do that.
They used to give free tortillas at the where the Ghirardelli place is. It used to be a Mission Tortilla Factory, and on your birthday, they'd give you a free stack of fresh-made tortillas.
What? Yeah, that's awesome.
It was the best.
No more.
It's Ghirardelli. So.
Now it's only IP.
Yeah.
Ghirardelli. Yeah. Anyways, that's my thoughts.
All right. Sounds good. So I'm going to keep on moving. Thank you for your thoughts there. So the big thing they announced, so Disney company itself is going to be celebrating the 100 years. So they kind of released the new logo and all the materials for that. So the Disney 100 celebration will be kicking off at the Disneyland Resort late January 2023. Disneyland Park will be receiving new platinum-infused decor, new sparkling looks for Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and their pals, special food and beverage offerings, and so much more.
I want to stop you right there for a second.
Sure.
I have a conspiracy theory about like platinum decor going in for the 100th anniversary, specifically at Disneyland. 2025 marks the 70th anniversary of the Disneyland Resort. Guess what material signifies the 70th anniversary?
Platinum?
Is it platinum?
Platinum. It is platinum. We all know they missed the mark with the 50th anniversary at Walt Disney World. So my little brain here is thinking they're probably testing to see how well audiences respond to the 100th anniversary decor. And if it goes over well, they're going to reuse this and like copy paste it everywhere for the 70th in 2025.
I like it. I enjoy conspiracy theories on a Disney podcast. I like it.
That's the way that they're saving money, basically, seeing how this goes over, and if it works, then they don't have to do more work to come up with something new.
Yeah. Well, time will tell. We'll see. It's only a few years away, so.
Yep.
All right. So with that, they announced 2 nighttime spectaculars. So World of Color, love World of Color. Still think it's the best nighttime show at any Disney park. And what's so great about it is that it can change. Like it can change and be updated, and it's perfect. So this show will be called World of Color 1. It will celebrate the storytelling legacy started by Walt Disney a century ago. It will tell a new story of how a single action, like a drop of water, creates a ripple that can grow into a wave of change. It's going to have a lot of inspiring characters. It'll bring them to life in new ways, and it has a new original song called Start a Wave. And then over at the Disneyland Park, so World of Color is at, if you don't know, it's at Disney's California Adventure over at Pixar Pier. So at Disneyland Park, Wondrous Journeys, a new nighttime spectacular that will ignite the wonder in all of us. It will feature nods to all 60 Walt Disney Animation Studio films to date, taking us on a journey filled with artistry, music, storytelling, and heart. So I'll kind of stop there because there's a bit more. But so we have the 2 new shows, and then lastly, then you guys can comment. There in the spring, there will be the long-awaited return of the Magic Happens Parade. It will be coming back to the Disneyland park. So, again, I'm excited just because, I mean, I don't know if I'll get the Disneyland next year, but World of Color is always awesome. I'm excited. I actually really like the theming that they're going with for the Wondrous Journeys. I would love to see that. They're going to have projection effects on that on Main Street and Sleeping Beauty Castle. So yeah, pretty excited about that. And it also says the Rivers of America for Wondrous Journeys, Rivers of America. It will turn into an artist canvas that brings characters to life all around you as fireworks dance in the sky.
I think they've done that in the past for other fireworks shows.
Because that's separate from the main hub, right?
Yes. Because I remember them advertising, you can watch the fireworks show from Rivers of America. So I think they've used that for projections in the past.
Okay.
Not 100% sure, but I think they have.
Gotcha. So all sounds exciting to me. I don't have much to comment on this. So what do you guys think?
Gotta get back to Disneyland. I am very excited for this.
Yeah.
I usually don't like movies being put into Disneyland fireworks shows. And part of the reason why I like Remember Dreams Come True is because it celebrates Disneyland Park very, very well. And if you haven't seen the show, watch it on YouTube. But I think, the fact that this is a celebration of the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company, and the company started as an animation studio, this seems appropriate. Yeah. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Katie, I think next year is going to be the perfect time for you to go to Disneyland for the first time.
You know what? If only I didn't have a wedding and honeymoon to plan and they're not
honeymoon to Disneyland. Problem solved.
Listen, I'm trying to convince Nick to even do a day at Disney World for a honeymoon. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, I'm dying to get out there. I mean, all this stuff sounds really cool. I always love to hear about what's happening over there and imagine it in my own way because I have nothing really to base it on. So it sounds cool. I'm excited for all you guys out there, Disneyland fans, to get some new fun shows.
Yeah. Cool. So, all right. Well, we are running long. I knew we were going to do this. So I want to be going a bit quicker through this stuff. So that's all the parks, at least that's all the news for Walt Disney World and Disneyland. I still have a bit more Disneyland news for the Downtown Disney and the resort stuff. So surprisingly, we didn't get any resort news for Disney World, right? Disney World, it was quiet. Yeah. So we have some stuff for Disneyland. Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, we already knew was going to become a Pixar themed hotel. So it's officially called the Pixar Place Hotel. The hotel will weave the artistry of Pixar into its comfortable contemporary setting, including fantastic areas for everyone to enjoy, like a Finding Nemo themed splash pad area. It's also going to feature a restaurant, or it's going to feature a place called Great Maple, which is going to be its flagship restaurant on the first floor. It's known for fried chicken and bacon, so this is a place that is found in California, which makes sense to me in a Pixar area.
And I haven't even heard of it, and I spent 30 years in Southern California and I haven't heard of it. So, and I'm Googling it. The nearest place to me was Newport Beach, and I never really went there.
Okay. So
didn't hang out there.
Yeah. So yeah, excited to see the changes come to this. I stayed in Pixar Pier back in 2014, Paradise Pier Hotel in 2014. And I thought it was good. I thought it was, perfectly fine hotel. We had a view of the parks, which was fun. So, and then at the Disneyland Hotel, the DVC building is officially called the Villas at the Disneyland Hotel. So
creative.
Yeah, I mean, the villas at GCH are called the Villas at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa.
I mean, it's the villas.
You can see they got really creative
here.
The
villas at Boardwalk. The villas at, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm just glad that they announced it because, we were all wondering.
The logo that they chose for the Disneyland Hotel Villas it's so ugly. It looks very corporate. It's really bad.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But yeah, it's always the villas at something. So I think that's just, what it's going to be. And then in downtown Disney District, they showed new concept art for Din Tai Fung, which is a world-renowned Asian restaurant. It was announced earlier this year. They just showed some concept art, which I'll have on the screen. And then what people really got excited for was Porto's Bakery and Cafe, which is an iconic Southern California destination known across the country for its sweet pastries and desserts, as well as delicious California Cuban-inspired dishes. And this will be coming to the downtown Disney District in the future. So,
oh boy, I did not see this one coming, and I'm so excited. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, anytime you see like a favorite come to Disney, it's great. Ample Hills was in the Disney's Boardwalk, and that was a really good ice creamery in Brooklyn. Unfortunately, they closed. They did open up a new shop, but they also had their area in the Boardwalk area, and man, it's so good. So. Yeah. But excited to try Porto's in the future. So that's exciting. The very last bit of Disneyland news is the Run Disney events are coming back in 2024, which CJ is very excited about.
I am. I like the Disneyland races so much better. I know I'm like singing the praises of Disneyland over Walt Disney World, but
I mean, you lived there for 30 years.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, it's just it's my home park, but you get more time in the park, and it's because like Disney doesn't own the streets around Disneyland like they do here, so they try to get you in the parks and on their property as much. I mean, you run through downtown Disney, Disneyland, and California Adventure no matter what race you're doing, and then usually for most of the races they send you out to Anaheim Angel Stadium. You run the bases around the stadium and you run back, and the community gets really involved. They send like marching bands from all sorts of high schools to like line the race course. There's like classic car clubs who have like literally a mile of classic cars that you run by. The local residents come out of their houses and cheer you on. Like it feels like a community event, and there's entertainment the entire time. Whereas here, you're running on Disney owned roads, but it's a lot of like blank spaces between the parks. So I think the races there are just better and more entertaining. So yay!
Well,
do they have
super exciting?
Does Disneyland have the same like schedule of races, or do they do their own?
So typically they do an Avengers themed race in November. They do a Star Wars themed race in January. They did Tinkerbell in like around Mother's Day, and then Labor Day was like the Disneyland half.
Cool.
Yeah.
So all different timings from the ones in Florida. Yes. That's awesome.
So theoretically, if you went really crazy, you could do all the races.
I don't think anyone should recommend that. That doesn't sound good.
That's going to be some new like ridiculous challenge. That's going to be like the Scrooge McDuck I have too much money challenge.
Fun stuff. So excited for everyone who's pumped about the Disneyland Run Disney coming back. So. All right, so the last thing we'll talk about today, I don't think we're going to get to the parks around the world, but the Disney Cruise Line, I don't really follow the news on the Disney Cruise Line. I had no idea that they have 3 more ships coming out. So the Disney Wish just premiered. They just announced the name of the second ship, but then by 2025 there's going to be a third ship as well.
Yeah, I think
I had no idea.
They announced some of this at the last D23, but they were like really tight-lipped about it. So more details was nice to hear.
Yeah. So the Disney Cruise Line, the new ship, which is the 6th ship in their fleet, is called the Treasure. The theme of adventure, the theme of it is the adventure inspired by Walt Disney's love of exploration. The Grand Hall will radiate the irresistible allure of adventure, inviting guests to seek the treasures on board from the moment they embark. Inspired by the grandeur and mystery of a gilded palace, it draws on real-world influences from Asia and Africa and pays homage to the far-off land of Agrabah from Walt Disney Animation Studios' classic tale, Aladdin. The signature atrium statue, a Disney Cruise Line tradition, will be a shining, shimmering, splendid representation of Aladdin, Jasmine, and Magic Carpet soaring together on a whole new world of adventure. The Disney Treasure is scheduled for delivery in 2024 following the Disney Wish, which set sail in this past July. Again, like we just said, it's the second of 3 ships planned through 2025. So super exciting. I had no idea about this, and it actually makes me really want to go on a Disney cruise because I love this theme. Like, I think this theme is so neat. You know, I've been watching a lot of vlogs and stuff on the Disney Wish lately. Just, you know, it's so new. A lot of the people I watch are going on it. You know, it seems like it's cool, but it never really caught, you know, my my interest. But just seeing the quick animated videos that they had, I got really excited for this, and it's something that I might want to explore in the future. But yeah, this is cool. I don't know if you guys saw the previews of this at all, but what are your thoughts?
It looks awesome. I need to go on a cruise ASAP.
Yeah,
have you been sorry, CJ, have you been on a Disney cruise or no?
In the year 2000.
Okay.
22 years ago.
Okay, a long time ago. Katie, you haven't, right?
Yeah, nope. I've never been on a Disney cruise. I think I'd want to. This one sounds really fun. I agree. I would hope that they do something kind of like what they do in Batu and on the Star Cruiser, where you can do little adventures throughout the ship, right? Use the Disney Parks app, but for cruise line, and like play games and do little scavenger hunts to like search around the ship. I think that would be so cool. Like, it's all talking about the adventures out there and blah, 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 blah. So like, have them. I would love to see scavenger hunts or adventures that you can kind of dive into, storylines or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the technology. Use it.
Yeah, no, agreed. I hope they, you know, I can't wait to see what the rest of the ship looks like, what they have in store. It doesn't seem like we have to wait too much longer for that. So, you know, really exciting. Any other thoughts on that? All right. So moving on, they also showed a sneak peek at the new details and concept art for Disney's second island destination, the Bahamas, besides Castaway Cay. It is located on the island of Eleuthera, at a place called Lighthouse Point. So they showed several different concept arts of, you know, the beaches, the area where they, you know, everyone can hang out, get some food. And it all looks, you know, really cool. Like, it, you know, I've never been to Castaway Cay, of course. I don't know, you know, I've seen some video and photos. It looks fine, but this, like, they're going like all out with the theming on this. This concept art looks beautiful. And it, just seeing it really makes me really want to go and check this out. You know, because honestly, I really have, like, I've never had a desire to go to like the Bahamas or like, you know, Jamaica or Dominican Republic. Like, it's just, I've never really wanted to. So like, I would take a Disney cruise if it's, you know, and stop on an island if it's like owned and operated by them. I feel like I would totally want to do that. You know, I'm not trying to like, you know, say anything bad about those islands. It's just never really appealed to me. But this seems like so isolated. Like, I love that feeling of like isolation. So that just seems really cool to me. So, any other thoughts from you guys?
I think we need to go on a cruise.
I know. Well, so this next piece of news they announced, which I think is super cool. So for the first time, Disney Cruise Line is bringing the magic of a Disney vacation to guests in Australia and New Zealand during a brand new Disney Magic at Sea cruises beginning late October 2023. The ship is the destination on these limited time voyages, which have been specifically created to immerse local guests in their favorite Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars story across enchanting entertainment and enhanced experience throughout each cruise. And then during the repositioning of voyages between Honolulu and Sydney in October 2023 and February 2024, the Disney Wonder will offer the fleet's first ever South Pacific itineraries. These brand new cruises will give you a chance to experience the exotic destinations like Fiji and Samoa. Bookings will open to the public on October 6th, 2022. So in short, it sounds like on its way from, America, the Disney Wonder, it's going to be stopping over in like the Fiji and Samoa area to do some cruises and then make its way down to Australia and New Zealand, which is like really cool. So I think that's awesome.
I just want to say, if my husband's listening, February 2024 is our 10th anniversary. So bookings open October 6th. You got 3 weeks here to book this cruise.
There you go. Not so subtle hint there. I love it. I think this is cool. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are these new cruises that are going to be in Australia and New Zealand like the Adventures by Disney cruises?
I don't think so.
No,
I think this is just a cruise. It's like a cruise to nowhere on the Disney Wonder.
Yeah,
so
it's the Disney Wonder is making its way down there, and then they'll be doing cruises in the Fiji, Samoa area, and then going to Australia and New Zealand for I don't know how long. So
got it. Cool.
Yep. So super exciting. So they did announce some stuff in Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, but there was really not too much love over there. A lot of them are actually, they have bigger renovations coming. Tokyo Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris all have Frozen either attractions or lands opening up soon. So they showed some stuff over there. So in Tokyo Disneyland, they showed a preview of animatronic of Elsa. At Shanghai Disneyland, they showed a really cool, impressive animatronic of Officer Clawhauser from Zootopia, which was really cool. Disneyland Paris, there's a new Tangled attraction opening up, which just seems like it looks like something similar to Mad Tea Party. And of course, they're going to be getting a Frozen land Frozen theme land over there. So, but yeah, so that is all the D23 news. We are at an hour and a half, which is like perfect. I didn't want to make sure we stayed at an hour and a half. But the last thing I'll ask the two of you is, out of all the things that we talked about today, what are you most excited about?
You go first.
Gosh, I was gonna say you go first.
Right, I'll go first.
Matt, you go first.
Okay.
You want me to go first? Who wants to go? I'll go first. You guys think about it. I'll go first. So honestly, what's funny? I'm honestly really excited about the Hatbox Ghost.
I knew you were gonna say that. Oh my god.
Yeah, because I love the Haunted Mansion. I love him in Disneyland, and I'm just so excited.
Have you seen him in Disneyland?
Yeah. I went. Okay. I went in 2017. That was the last time.
Oh yeah, that was like the year they put him in.
Yeah,
I think.
it was
like 2016.
2016, or it was fairly new. So when I went, and honestly, I wasn't planning on going in 2017. I was visiting my friend in Hollywood, and I had a red-eye flight that night, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm gonna ditch you and go to Disneyland today, and that's so
good call.
And the main reason, because I really want to see the Hatbox Ghost. So I've always had like a weird fascination with him. So
me too.
I'm just excited.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm just excited that people will be able to see him in Magic Kingdom. So I'm honestly I'm really excited about that.
The first time I saw him was when I was a cast member. My managers arranged a walkthrough tour of the Haunted Mansion, and that was the first time I saw him walking through. It was very cool. I was like, there he is. I'm right up close. Like, I could touch him, but I'd get in big trouble, so I won't touch him.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited about. So, Katie, I'm going to go to you first.
Okay. I think I have two. I am most excited that we finally got some solid end dates for the Epcot transformation, just because there's still so much unknown, and I literally can't picture it no matter how much concept art I see. So I'm glad that by late 2023 we will have a better idea of what Epcot's future looks like, because right now Epcot's my favorite park, and it's kind of hard to go to right now. So super excited for that. And then crazy enough, I am actually excited for a Dino Land refurb eventually. Like, it's such a weird feeling for me right now, because if they touch my dinosaur ride, I will, I literally, Matt, when you texted me that, as we were driving home on Sunday, I literally started tearing up. Like, oh my God, are you telling me this for seriousness? So I took I literally started having a panic attack. But that aside, once, my emotions settled down, that area does need a lot. Animal Kingdom is also my favorite park, like very big passion for that. And it needs help bad and it needs help fast. So I am excited to see what comes of that. If only it just doesn't come at the death of my beloved dinosaur.
Yeah. I think we're definitely going to see it eventually. Probably not for, I would say 5 years at least.
You think?
You know, well, they move so slow. Maybe renovations will start in 4. Who knows? I don't know.
We'll see.
So, okay, CJ, what about you?
Okay, I've got 2 things as well. First of all, the nighttime shows coming to Disneyland sound really awesome, and I'm like scheming ways to get my husband to go back to Disneyland, even though we were just there.
I hear your 10-year anniversary is February 2024.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the 100th
I
anniversary might not be there anymore.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
true.
See, that's the thing. I got to weasel my way in another
The
way.
9th anniversary is in February 2023.
That's right.
Dude,
the ninth, the
you're
big
right.
9.
That's important.
That is important. The other one that's exciting for me is Run Disney coming back to Disneyland. You know, I did the last time I raced there was 2017. I ran the last Tinkerbell weekend, which was the last opportunity to get the pink coast to coast medal. But I know like the local California racers, Arizona, Nevada, like New Mexico, like there's a lot of people who have to fly out to Florida to get their Run Disney fix. And that's really cost prohibitive for a lot of people. And the local community wants it. Like the cast members want it, local runners want it. Like it just needs to come back. And so I'm really excited for that opportunity to come back to locals and like the greater Disneyland market.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I know that you're very passionate about it. You're super, you were pumped for that news. So,
Yes.
all right.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah. Well, this has been so much fun discussing the news with the 2 of you. Lot of exciting things coming up. I was kind of, it's funny. At the beginning of the episode, I said I was underwhelmed by it, but after like talking about it, I am more, I am bit more excited now. So
You're whelmed.
I am
You're
now
just
whelmed.
I think I really like that they shared a lot of big picture ideas, right? Like it was fun to listen to them, even just a few clips I've been watching, like just talk about their thought process and what could be. And it gets me excited for Disney's future because right now I'm not excited about Disney's present, but I'm getting excited about Disney's future.
Yeah. Yep. Totally. Well, that's it. That's going to be it for this episode. So CJ, thank you so much for being here for the past 2 episodes, and we'll definitely have you again on in the future.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, you're always welcome back. But CJ, where can we find you? Plug away.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram at The Weekly Mouse, and my blog is theweeklymouse.com. And then on Park Snacker, you can see me rate all the Diet Coke and all the children's food, also at The Weekly Mouse. And then my sister and I have our podcast comparing Disneyland to Walt Disney World at Park to Park Podcast with the number 2. We just released an episode about the submarines at Disneyland and Small Worlds, doing a comparison about the 2 at Disneyland and Disney World.
Sweet. Awesome. Katie, where can we find you?
Well, I am over on Instagram at Magically Mootsy, and I'm also on Park Snacker at Magically Mootsy. Significantly less active than CJ with her Diet Cokes, but still over there.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure you are subscribing to the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much anywhere. And make sure, the video feed, I actually just did an updated look of our video feed for the podcast. So I worked on that over the weekend. So now, there's a refreshed look, which I'm excited about. And again, you already listened to the episode, so you're probably not going to listen to this back. But, I am trying to put more effort into video and inserting images, the things that we talk about as well. So make sure you're following us on YouTube. Subscribe over there. The video feed also appears on Spotify. So if you listen on Spotify, the video feed will appear there. So you can actually stream it directly, to your, Google Home or whatever hub that you have. Which is cool. So that would, video takes a lot more work, and right now we don't have a lot of watchers, but you know what? I am committed to, keeping that quality up, and hopefully, we'll get more video watchers. So
very cool.
And then also, make sure you're following us everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You're going to want to definitely be following me this upcoming week for my trip to Walt Disney World. CJ, I know you're kind of busy next week, but I hope I get to see you again next week.
It's my birthday next week, so I'm going to be in the parks.
Perfect. Yeah, hopefully we get to see you. We'll have to make some plans. But yeah, follow me, Park Snacker Mats. I'll be posting there. There will not be a main episode, but as I announced on the surprise episode I put out yesterday, I put out a pre-trip report podcast. I will be doing my daily check-ins. So every day I will be recording a 10-minute episode of just like talking about what I did throughout the day. So you'll really get a detailed look. So it's going to be my like raw impressions. Because, when I do my trip report podcast in a couple weeks, I'm not going to be going day by day. It's going to be, kind of all chunked together in different sections. So if you want to hear my raw thoughts there, you can follow along next week. But that's it. I am winded now. Time to edit this thing together and get it out. But I appreciate the both of you. Thanks for joining us on the episode today. But that's it. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.